See, you're one of those voters that like romance. I'm going to talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home to me, a genetic freak to be satisfied every night, or go home to that fat-ass Donald Trump? See, tonight we're going to win, and I'm going to be the president of the United States. Come on, Kamala.
48 minutes of dogs barking. 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 Woof, 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 woof. Growl. Woof, 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 woof. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking. 48 minutes of dogs barking.
So Jason, I was thinking,
Yeah.
how we were talking about the crazy groomer ukulele and the potential side effects of prescription medications, and I was kind of having like a thought in the shower this morning, and I was like, what would be like the most oddly specific sort of side effect you could have for like a medication?
Okay.
And it's like a medication someone needs to live,
Right.
Like something for like people with diabetes or they can't drive well or something like that. And I was like, the side effect would be having incredibly vivid dreams, but quite specifically a dream where you are late to catch your flight at an airport. And it's either specifically the Dallas-Fort Worth airport or the Atlanta airport. Doesn't matter if you've never been there. This is the mRNA technology here we're talking about.
Okay.
And you get stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Drake. And he wants to take a selfie with you, and you're just like, okay. But
right.
when like he gets his phone out and he gets ready to take the photo, he's like, I can't believe I'm meeting Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right.
So he's always going to mistaken you for like a serial killer.
Okay.
And you don't know how to do it. And then when you try to explain it, he gets fuzzy. And his voice becomes auto-tuned, and he just becomes really soft. There's no other way. Soft Drake nightmares.
Yeah, soft Drake nightmares.
Soft Drake nightmares. Wheelchair Jimmy.
Well, welcome to the show. It's 40 Minutes Dogs Barking. My name is Jason. This is Brian,
Hey.
describing his soft Drake nightmares for you on the show.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
48 minutes
Christ.
of dog. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's been a long day for me as well.
Yeah.
So this is the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we make people upset.
Yep. It's going to be great. We're going to
Sometimes there's the guests we bring on.
we make them upset. Yeah. It's fantastic.
No one's having a good time.
Yeah. 2 new social networks have been getting a lot of traction lately because obviously Twitter's dying.
It's Pissnet and Shitweb.
Yeah, Pissnet and Shitweb. Of course, Pissnet being Blue Sky, Shitweb being Threads. But of course, Blue Sky is invite only for the moment.
Yeah.
I lucked into an invite. As soon as I get one, obviously you'll get one.
Thanks.
But immediately after, a conservative blogger by the name of Emily Miller, on her site Emily Posts News, wrote this article called "Blue Sky Pounces on Conservatives."
Emily Posts the news be like grammatically a little bit better?
Well, and because Emily Post wasn't that anyway? That's a yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Blue Sky pounces on conservatives, rejoices over Elon Musk failing Twitter. Jack Dorsey's invite code only social media site grows for liberals to agree with each other and bully the few right of center. Yeah, basically she got on Blue Sky, was immediately bullied by the very leftist people on there, and then made a whole big deal about it. Talking about not only herself.
She would have not survived during TCOT.
No, God, no.
The Bean Dogs, no.
No.
Greg W. Howard, Stan
No.
Solomon.
Any of the, yeah, she did not. She does not have a poster spirit to begin with.
No.
But also, she ropes in a Eric Erickson, a conservative talk show host, quoting here, became the most blocked account on Blue Sky within a day of skeeting. And yes, skeeting is what they're calling it. Skeeting for the first time. Erickson has 25 followers on Blue Sky, over 200,000 followers on Twitter. All he wrote on Saturday was this: "Oh wow, unlike the Bird site, this site is functional today." He got 500 replies, and every single one of them told him to leave, mostly with profanity.
It's kind of funny because it's a pretty non-judgmental. There's no real hot take in there other than like, hey, this website works.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they just saw the name and know the reputation, and
sure.
it's like,
but that's the thing. Like, you couldn't even just be like, "Huh, it's nice out today," and people are like, "Yeah, why don't you have a nice day and die?"
Yeah, here's a couple of posts. Your trash friends ruined the last one. Go back and wallow in your garbage. Let's see here. I'm here to help bully you off this website. We all need to agree right now to bully J.K. Rowling off this platform the second she arrives. And then the other one that she quotes here was Stephen Gutowski. He founded The Reload, which is a blog all about Second Amendment rights and gun laws. On Saturday, he posted a link to a story about how the Supreme Court may handle a new gun case, and the responses were as follows. I can tell you where to shove your analysis. No one cares about your opinions. Did you invite Erickson on here? Answer immediately. So, just a good time over there. Hassling Blue Sky folks, a poster on Twitter still complaining. But here's Discordian Kitty. Conservatives are complaining about being bullied on Blue Sky, which is so funny because conservatives literally got a billionaire to buy Twitter for them so they could stop feeling bullied here, and now they're following the rest of us onto smaller platforms and demanding attention.
I wonder if Chuck C. Johnson is going to get on Blue Sky and finally be like, I didn't shit on the floor.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if I can stand seeing that guy anymore. Just
it's
block on sight. Yeah.
You know something really fucking weird?
What?
During Ferguson, he kind of had a couple flare-ups during late 2014. Of saying some pretty incendiary stuff and getting his ass handed to him as one would expect.
Right.
And then I saw a couple tweets from a woman who said that he was hanging around Ferguson taking photos.
Oh no.
And then I was like, huh? And I'm like,
oh no.
Oh no. Does she think that I'm Chuck C. Johnson?
Oh, no.
And that was one of the few times in my life I've ever felt really ugly.
Yeah.
I was one of those things where I think I stopped drinking for 2 months.
Yeah.
I ate healthier. I'm kept my beard shorter. I'm
ain't no goddamn way. Yeah. I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Fucking Chuck C. Johnson.
Yeah. Well, one of the new things on Blue Sky, Sexy Alf apparently was a big thing for a couple of days. This user, Fane Greenwood.
Sexy Alf, he fucks the cats. He doesn't eat them. Or wait. He eats the cat, but in a different way.
Yeah, in a very different way. He claims to have made this post, which was a Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue cover. If you've never seen it, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is an abominable 30-minute movie where all the Looney Tunes characters and the Muppet Babies and the Smurfs and Alvin and the Chipmunks and Winnie the Pooh all team up to tell this kid not to do drugs.
Which begs the question, because I feel like if all those things were coming to talk to me and tell me not to do drugs, I would assume that someone had spiked.
I was say you got some good shit. Yeah. And then someone posted, of course, the painting here of a buff Alf.
Yeah, this is hella old.
Yeah, it became a thing again on
Amazing.
This new network, and it just became a running bit. Even Jake Tapper joined in, saying the only thing I can contribute to the Alf discourse is that as a consultant on HBO's Recount movie on the early aughts, I suggested the team hire Max Wright, the dad from Alf, to be the voice of Joe Lieberman, but Wright was not in a particularly employable place. You remember? Yeah.
Was that when he was smoking crack and
yes, he had
an abandoned house and
yeah, he was in a bad place.
I'm George Lieberman. I love smoking crack. I'm tired of all of this heavy rock and roll music when we really need more music about smoking crack.
Somebody used to do edits of Alf where it turned the Max Wright character into a sexual predator, and then one, here comes Mr. Meatloaf.
Oh, no.
I like you very much. I really do, and very nervous about this whole thing. And here comes Mr. Meatloaf.
I think it was Andrew Hussey, the guy who made Homestuck, but
that's a weird.
yeah,
It's a weird line to draw from two separate things.
yeah.
But anyways, yes, AOC.
AOC even chimed in. If people are talking about Alf now, then Garbage Pail Kids is just around the corner. Jerry Ryan from Star Trek. Chris Hayes. All in Chris Hayes. Anyway, I think my dad core posting is ruining the vibe here. Back to Alf's hog, which is a very embarrassing thing for a guy on the news to say. But hey, we're breaking new ground over there. Speaking of breaking new ground, Barbie is set to come out very, very soon. The Barbie movie, Brian?
Yeah. My girlfriend's going to make me see it, which I think is going to slightly backfire on her because this does not upset me as much as the idea of seeing the live action Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Because the live action Little Mermaid thing was like, I would rather get in a car with Ryan Dunn without a seatbelt than watch that movie. And it's not because they made the Little Mermaid black. It's because it looked objectively like a bad movie.
All the live action Disney shit has been just foul.
The fact that you made the Little Mermaid black is black people should take offense.
Yes. Don't associate me with this fucking movie. What are you doing?
Get that off me.
Just based on pre-sales alone, Mattel, the makers of Barbie, have decided that they are going to do a series of toy-based films.
Cool.
He-Man, Polly Pocket, but my favorite, of course...
Well, Polly Pocket's something different now.
They're going to have to rename the movie. But the one that really got my attention and the attention of
You never been to a FetLife Munch?
Can't say that I have. But the one that got my attention, of course, was Barney, the first film in that slate there. Daniel Kaluuya from Nope and several other great films. He's set to produce the film, which was described as a A24 type movie aimed at adults about Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Now, I will say this. It has been done. It was called Death to Smoochie. Edward Norton, Danny DeVito, Robin Williams. Sorry, it's been done.
Yeah. I don't need A24-esque movies about everything. That seems really uncomfortable and tedious.
Another bad thing that you linked me to, and I've been steadily reading this for the past couple days, is this gigantic ebook, 644 pages, of the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Alleged.
That's right. It's a lot of schizo posting.
Oh, no, it definitely feels like you're reading, someone's manifesto from the 90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's clearly a bias just in some of the writing of here. There's some stuff where, every time they mention the president, the P is lowercase and then the R is uppercase. It's like, oh, okay, I get what you're doing. You're saying he's the resident of the White House. He's not, he's not president. All this stuff is kind of smeared throughout this thing.
And there's also just some weird terminology, women, particularly when you get to the women of the night that Hunter Biden has. Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't think Hunter S. Thompson smoked crack.
I don't know for sure.
I don't think he smoked crack. No. Anyways, but Hunter Biden calling these women females. Which is really telling on yourself.
Some real incel shit right there. Yeah.
There was also something that was a photo of one of Hunter's relatives or something
with a joint.
With a joint, it was referred to as a left-hand cigarette, and I was like. I literally was fucking rocking back and forth in my computer chair. I was so angry. Just shut the fuck up.
It's very bizarre. If you want to get put on a list, by all means, go find it. Marco Polo.
I think you can get a physical copy sent to you for
good.
free.
Oh, good. I'll keep it next to the 9/11 Commission report that I have on my bookshelf.
Yeah. But yeah, I spent probably a half hour off going through it. I just went through the sex crimes part. Because I thought that would probably be the most sweet and to the point. It wouldn't be bogged down with technical jargon or anything like that. And it's just, he's just a fucked up, shitty dude who's just had a lot of privilege and money fall in his direction. And And I looked at some of the drug stuff, and it's just like, yeah, this is just like a kind of a shitty family. Like, no one here sounds really good. Hunter apparently isn't allowed to be like alone with one of his nieces, and
that was heartbreaking to read.
Yeah.
Texts between him and and various family members, like, I'm not allowed to be near her unless Joe's around. Like, okay,
yeah. That's just fucking wild. Yeah.
A woman won a monster mini fridge at a truck stop. She was wearing a t-shirt that says truckin' and fucking. That's number one.
Hell yeah.
In the photo, she has a teardrop tattoo, which in prison terms mean that you've killed someone. And then the follow-up from the truck stop says, oh, it was a hit-and-run accident. She's really sorry. There's just a lot going on in that particular.
That fucking rules. that fucking whips ass.
I just wish I could have the George Santos the other day. Every liberal's worst nightmare is sitting here right now. It's George Santos and 3 other people who I do not recognize. And so my response was, it's very bold of you to assume that I know who any of these people are.
And I'm afraid of them.
It's just, okay, George, whatever, man. What the hell are you doing? And then one last funny one, because I gotta go out with a funny one. A gentleman in Arizona was arrested for being the penis man. So there is apparently a dozen spots in Arizona that are being tagged with just the words penis man.
Fuck, also rules.
Yeah. And so, according to the Phoenix New Times, a man named Dustin Schomer posted on Facebook Saturday morning that he was arrested in his Phoenix condo by a SWAT team, booked on 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage, and 1 count of criminal trespassing, all related incidents where he spray painted penis man. But then, this article from the New York Daily News, but is Schomer the penis man? The one that's been tagging spots across the state for 2 months? Schomer says no. I'm not the original, he said. There are hundreds of copycats with very distinct, different handwriting. Schomer said he heard some people in a Tempe bar talking about the real penis man and got inspired to do some of his own. Quote, I thought it was a good message. Again, New York Daily News, he doesn't seem to be the only penis disciple, as documented by the Twitter account Penis Man Fans. At least one new tag has been spotted since his arrest. Penis Man is neither man or woman, Schomer wrote. We are all penis man. Very I am Spartacus moment here.
It's fucking amazing.
What a fucking news story. Like, boy, what a good one.
So, crypto time.
It is indeed Crypto Scam of the Week time.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
It is Angry Azuki. We talked about him just last week. Oh, they got screwed again. The folks, yep. Not only did Azuki double dip, but the people who got bilked last time formed a DAO to try to get their money back. It was then hacked. So
it be your own dudes, man.
It really do.
It's bad enough you thought forming a DAO would fix this.
Yeah.
But then it got hacked, and I mean, how much money?
Tens of thousands, but still, it's like insult to injury. You're already out 39 mil, and what's another couple 10 grand? On Monday, shortly after the group's membership overwhelmingly voted to both hire a lawyer to sue Azuki founder Zagabond and to demand that Chiru Labs refund the $38 million, 2 hackers exploited a flaw in the claiming contract and managed to steal 35 ETH, $70,000 thereabouts. Yeah, Meta Sleuth saying that the governance token contract, Bean, has been exploited due to a contract vulnerability. But the organization says they're still going to go ahead. They're still going to try to get their money back. They're going to, they consulted a team of lawyers, Legal DAO, a Web3 legal collective, this here, by the way, courtesy of Decrypt, to determine how best to pursue legal action for the rug pull and others that apparently they've done as well. While the DAO's membership isn't certain it will recover those funds, it is quite confident that a bit of applied pressure will push Chihiro Labs to see things their way. And of course, they didn't respond to requests for comment. So yeah, 70 grand just nicked because of some goofy code problem. I just insult to injury just cannot stop happening for these guys.
At that point, I probably would stop doing crypto, but maybe I'm just not built like they are.
Other Azuki holders have said this Dow doesn't speak for me, and
because Azuki, he pocketed like another like 40 mil.
Yeah,
with that?
Yeah,
Amazing.
Like 39 mil or something. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
Just fuck, and Bored Apes are going down.
Oh yeah,
I think the floor price is like $40K or something. I'm pulling that out of my ass. That's just my understanding. I haven't been going on OpenSea and checking out the volume and the floor price on fucking apes.
It's probably a smart move, honestly, just to keep yourself.
I did see this. Someone going around posting that the Bored Ape that Justin Bieber paid $1.3 million for is now worth like under $100K, which is
Jesus. I mean, that's probably true. I mean, for all we know, I don't really keep up with it either, but it feels right. I don't know. It just feels like that's how things are going. The price for today is $57,258 with a 24-hour sales volume of 526.55 ETH. As of yesterday, it says is a 2-year low.
The apes, the depreciated people are getting liquidated on their apes
because they loaned them. Yeah. Oh boy.
Like, here's the thing. If you still bought a Bored Ape on Mint and you fucking round tripped it, you still are up like nearly like $48,000.
Well, what's round tripped it? What does that mean?
Oh, round trip means you hold something, so like meme tokens and shit like that. They go up and then they usually go right back down. And so there are people in crypto Twitter that talk about like, I totally fucking round tripped like a fucking 7-fig bag.
So you had it and you lost it.
Yeah, you see lots of little stories about that, particularly when dudes are looking to get engagement when crypto is slow. Usually talking about like, hey, this is my cautionary tale. Like,
don't be like me.
Yeah, like I instead of having $1.5 million, I have now 40,000, which isn't bad necessarily. I should have probably sold at that high point, but don't be a dumbass like me. And from what I can tell, no one ever takes that advice.
Right.
Because people who are, there's a reason why they call certain individuals in crypto degens, because it's short for degenerate.
Yeah.
And
like a degenerate gambler. Yeah.
Degenerate gambler. More specifically, the image that I've been made to understand, it's like the Japanese salaryman that spends all of his time like fucking chain smoking at the pachinko parlor. Like that specific type of degenerate is supposed to be the image. It's not just supposed to be like someone that spends all their money on like scratchers tickets.
Sure, yeah. There's a distinct difference there. Yeah, I mean, CryptoPunks and other stuff have also declined according to this.
What about my lazy lions?
They're probably also not doing well either. Let's see, Azuki Elementals, which already has problems. Mutant Ape Yacht Club, of course, also down, and the Captains with a Z. Apparently, that one is also big swings downwards.
So what happened to that Bored Ape Yacht Club like fucking key or whatever the shit key?
the game, the Dash,
the Dookie Dash.
Yeah, let me see. Let me find out because I am curious. Yeah, Dookie Dash results were in. That is in February 15th. 25,000 players spent a cumulative 706,430 hours exploring the sewer and collecting power-ups, with some using Power Shart packs to boost their runs. The longest run lasted for 10 minutes, the shortest run clocking in an incredible 0.99 seconds. Mon Graal, the popular Fortnite streamer, has won the Butthole Key, the rarest and most valuable NFT in existence, and it grants the holder access to exclusive events and experiences within that community. The value of the Butthole Key is expected to increase in the coming years. This was from February. Lord only knows what it's worth now. So yes, the coveted Butthole Key, won by a Fortnite streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that, like, with all the money that Bored Ape Yacht Club has behind it, like, just how bad and consistent the art was. I know.
Oh yeah.
I know. There's scammers and they're frauds allegedly, but like even then, it's like I would at least try and keep up the appearances.
Yeah. I wonder if you can liquidate the butthole key. Let's see what the butthole key is worth.
Are you Googling, can you liquidate the butthole key?
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Okay, so 2 weeks later, the streamer sold it for 1,000 ETH, which at the time was $1.6 million.
You know what? Smart person.
Yeah, but yeah, he won the thing, and he turned a nice little profit on it back in February, when that was probably the smartest move you could do. Someone just bought an NFT of a key that came out of a Digital's monkey butt for 1.6 mil. Best part, no one even knows what it does. It's all poo-poo doo-doo going all the way down.
Pee-pee-poo-poo.
Pee-pee poo-poo. Well, this bit is our main story of the week, Brian.
Yeah.
It's one that I barely even remember. I heard inklings of this guy, the occasional Fayad post, the occasional 4chan post when I was on there. I was unable to find very much information except for one article about this man. And it was written in 2004. And this guy's been around for a lot longer.
Well, I'm sure he's not with us.
he may not be with it. But again, I was not even able to find an obituary or anything like that. Like, I'm typing all these variations on his name.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, when I first knew about this guy, there was a lot more information. And it was mostly just people like on kind of like random forums being like, yeah, this guy, he's like a local lunatic, and it's really fun to call up his show and flush the toilet and just be an asshole to him. Mostly just that stuff. He's not even a real doctor. Mm-hmm. But who are we talking about?
We are talking about Dr. Lucius Conley.
Are you sure it's Lucius?
Luscious. Lucius.
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 Luscious.
I said luscious? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
God, I mean, I got black friends.
Dr. Lucius Conley, doctor in big quotes, because as you said, not a real doctor.
No.
According to Eric Snyder of the Tampa Bay blog Creative Loafing, that was the City Tampa Village Voice type of paper, the caller has reached full bellow. I'm with you, Dr. Conley, he says. We should kill all the white people. Just like you said. Kill them all. Lucius Conley, the World War II vet who hosts the show Dr. Conley Live on Tuesdays on Tampa Bay Television 20, looks into the camera with a mildly amused expression. The caller hangs up. It's tough to tell whether the man was sincere or running an ironic ruse past the old-timer sitting at a desk on public access. Either way, Conley is not sure how he got painted as a kill whitey black militant. I don't want to kill somebody, he said rapid fire, his voice high-pitched. People ask, how do you hate white people? I tell the people, I never said I hate white people. I never said I want to kill white people. The callers want me to say something out the way, you know? Conley's latest theme is that Jesus Christ was a black man, that the black race is the wellspring of humanity, and that black people are superior. Black people birthed white people, he chirps. White people don't believe it. You can take things black and make something of it. You can't take nothing white and make nothing of it. Former sharecropper, grew up near Lake City in Florida, started on public access in the late 80s in a campaign to get his disability pension from the military. They weren't going to give it to him, and so he decided he's going to go on public access and rail about it. And eventually he got it.
Yeah, I mean, fucking good for him.
So it says, after decades of battling the system with help from a lawyer, Conley was granted his disability in the year 2001 and now receives a monthly check. Public access helped me get my disability. Yes, sir, it did, he says. So yes, people would love to call in to Dr. Conley's show and razz the living shit out of him. And I mean, we'll put a few clips in here back to back of just some real wonderful ones. You can find them on YouTube. You just Dr. Lucius Conley. Or also, as this video's headline says, racist black man. The user, simply comedy.
Yeah, it used to be something else, but it's now comedy. I'm actually I go back to these videos every couple of years, and I'm amazed they're still on there.
Yeah.
There's such an interesting window into a certain period of media, which is the local cable access.
Cable accesses,
and these people these individuals definitely got a second life on the internet. Mm-hmm. There was like the family Auto Mart in Florida, also in Florida.
Yep, yeah, a lot of Florida.
I remember visiting my great aunt in Titusville, late 90s, and it was like a lazy Saturday morning. I think we were going to go do something, but I'm just like being lazy in the living room, flipping around the channels, and saw Family Auto Mart on the local access channel.
Yeah.
And I was like, even as like a 10-year-old knew like, oh, because I knew from watching The Daily Show who these people were.
Yeah, they would wind up on shows like that or like Talk Soup or something, and the clip shows would use them a lot. Public access was ripe for comedy because, it's amateur hour. These are people that they're not professionals. They're not paid to be there. They're volunteers.
Yeah.
And they're notoriously, unpolished, shall we say.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to call-in shows. Call-in shows, obviously, just always a source of tension, especially if you don't have a screener, as Dr. Conley clearly didn't.
No, it's just a thing on his table.
Yep, he just pushes a button. And that is how, 80s and 90s public access, that was the extent of your tech. That was about all you got. You're lucky to have maybe more than one camera. Did you know that I did a public access show?
I did not.
I did, at the age of about 9 or 10, I was on a public access show called On the Move. And it was Ferguson Public Access. And it was a kids show. So they had the kids be hosts.
Yeah.
And it was very weird. It was like I did it for like 6 months. I don't even have any tapes of it, but it's a surreal experience. That's the time I met Stan Musial.
Really?
Was through that because he was doing a book signing. Stan the Man. He was doing a book signing, and he signed my book, and we did a whole segment. I interviewed him for like 3 minutes, and it aired on public access. It was a strange time in my life that I barely remember, but it made me go, hey, I want to do TV and radio, and then that didn't work out. So, but public access.
But now you've got a podcast.
Indeed. So public access, it kind of was the proto podcast, I guess, in a way, because it's like amateurs just kind of hacking it and putting a product out. There were so many guys like Dr. Conley. Like there were guys, there was a group in Texas that did this like goth show.
Yeah.
A couple of those are still floating around. You'll see these compilations of like public access stuff. But yeah, Dr. Conley is definitely a slice above just because he was angry and he had a lot of black liberation theology going on, a lot of the like almost like black Israelite stuff, like the Hotep guys.
Very proto. And I think what draws me back to these videos is not that like here's just like a bunch of people yelling incredibly racist, vitriolic shit at like a black veteran.
Yeah.
Even if he is like an absurd person and he calls himself doctor even though he isn't. Like with all these things, it's more that like there's someone that calls he's like, you're on the line with Dr. Conley, and it's just someone's going, dog turd, and like he just knocks him off the line and he goes, oh, that's dog turd. I haven't heard from dog turd in a while. He must have been out of town.
I haven't heard from Dog Turd in a long time.
You know Dr. Conley?
Dog turd.
Oh, where old Dog Turd been? I ain't heard from him in a long time, dog. So you done showed back up now, eh? That's my friend, though, Dog Turd, yeah. I ain't heard from him about 2 years or something. He must have been out of town.
It's like people just say, like, the fact that people feel comfortable just calling him up and saying the worst racist shit is a little upsetting.
Yeah.
But sometimes his response is just like, oh, no, you're not going to do that. Like,
yeah, he does. Sometimes with certain callers, he's able to keep that sense of calm. But what I found was really interesting, because this kind of dates it. It's 2004. Today's topic, would the Reverend Al Sharpton make a good president, was the question of the day. You had people calling in. I'm just going to go ahead and say no, but
probably not. He's too short.
He's also just, there's a lot of baggage that comes with.
Oh yeah,
stuff,
I've seen him in real life.
Yeah,
I saw him standing next to a sedan. He was not taller than the roof of the sedan.
And was this like after he dropped all the weight?
Is this skinny? This was
okay. This was skinny.
Geez, not the say I found something humorous, an incredibly sad moment in time, but it was at Mike Brown's funeral, and I'm just like, man, he's tiny.
Yeah.
There was like also like indie media people there dressed up like anime characters. It was really
that's surreal. Yeah.
There was a lot of weird shit going on at Mike Brown's funeral, but that was like this one's thing. Well, Al Sharpton's like a tiny little guy. I could put him in a suitcase.
Yeah. I'm gonna take him home with me and put him in my pocket. Yeah. He's a little guy.
When he goes into bed, he takes a little leaf.
Yeah.
And he puts it up to his chin and he goes, oh,
honk, schnoo, me. Yeah, he's doing that. He's got the big bubble coming out of his nose. Yeah, he's just a little guy.
It's just a tiny little guy.
But yeah, would Al Sharpton make a great president? I don't think so. And this one,
Topic: black women.
I couldn't even do it with a straight face. Topic: black women. Okay.
All right,
where are we going with this, buddy?
The topic today is black women.
Yeah, black women. We're going to talk about black women today.
Yeah.
Always talking about them pretty black women, you know.
That's one of my favorite topics you had. When you had that like 4 times, that's the best topic there is.
Yeah, it is about black women. We're going to talk about the area of the witchcraft. The witches back in them days. We're going to talk about that today.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds good.
All right, man.
I think the best topic next to that was about how you were stupid fat about that shit, you know.
I know you. So you all right, you know. You crazy about them black women too, you know.
It's just what it's obviously what a terrible thing, but just the fact that like it's real. This is just a real meandering conversation. Like, you know, you've had this topic 4 times. I think this is the best topic, and I think it's also and
yeah.
You're just like, what the.
That's a very classic one. You'd be able to get people on C-SPAN with that a lot. Yeah. You start
Howard Stern's balls, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
You'd start talking very complimentary about their show, and then boom, you hit them with something, and then they'd have to be like, oh, well, that's not appropriate. But yeah, it was topic is black women. And he said something about what about white women, and then Dr. Conley goes, the witches or something. It's like, oh, white women are witches. Is that it? Yeah. Colorful character at very least. He's always wearing the hat. I've noticed this in every single one of these clips. It's this hat, and obviously
it's like the VFW is the official hat of like the VFW turkey shoot.
Yeah, it does not look like anything out of an actual uniform. It just looks like something they give veterans to like get them to go away. This whole thing about him being a doctor, I have to find this because it's like there was some point where they explained like why he called himself a doctor. Yeah, here it is. Conley, who gave himself the appellation doctor. Oh, that's it. That's all.
I think some is just a chip on his shoulder because in that article he describes fighting in World War II.
Yeah,
coming
Buffalo
back,
Soldier.
Buffalo Soldier, yeah. Coming back and being disrespected because he's a black man.
Right.
So, like, some of the stuff he says and all that, like, I understand why he
kind of taking that
way.
Power back. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously this is a man that fought for his country, and his country didn't respect him for it. That could be a real legitimate, deep, long-lasting, lifelong-lasting cut that never heals.
I can certainly see that. I mean, Jesus.
So what we do, we call up his cable access show, and when he puts us on the line, we flush a toilet. You know?
I know.
It's just
it's disrespect upon disrespect. Yeah.
It feels like a Mike Judge bit.
It kind of does. Well, I mean, he's intriguing to watch. That is the one thing I will say about it, because here's another bit.
You know, Dr. Conley.
I wanted to come and tell you have a real bad attitude.
Oh, what, baby?
You have a real bad attitude.
Attitude? Why you think I got an attitude? That's the Bible I'm speaking now. Did you got your Bible? Now, what did the Bible? You read what I just said now. If you got one, show me you ain't lying.
Sir, what did you say?
Deuteronomy 7. Show me. Now read.
Oh, I'm saying that the man who called had a real bad attitude.
Oh, I thought you said you had a real bad attitude. Okay. Well, you like the show? Thank you, lost it, dog.
I really do. I enjoy it.
Okay. Anything else? What did
What did you say?
Is there anything you want to say?
What chapter is you reading of the Bible?
What now?
What chapter of the Bible are you reading?
Deuteronomy 7.
Huh?
Deuteronomy 7.
Okay.
Deuteronomy.
And one more thing. Are you a preacher?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, then. Thank you. That's a nice little girl there. I hope she understands where she can get to heaven. You know, Dr. Conley.
Hi, Dr. Conley.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine.
You a f***ing ass.
See that? See what I'm trying to tell you?
So it's this young woman. She calls in. She's super respectful. She's asking him questions.
She's like really shy.
Right, and he has to keep repeating himself because she can't hear him and he can't really understand what she's saying. And then, he's like, okay, all right, that's good. Picks up the next call, and it's boom. Just
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, just an aside here. We should probably put a trigger warning at the beginning of this.
Sure.
This one, just be like, hey, there's some really vulgar language.
Oh, I'm bleeping the living shit out of this episode.
Yeah.
You gotta believe me. Yeah, I'm
but the juxtaposition of that him being very patient, and then he's like, oh, I hope she gets to heaven, and then the next one is just bah.
Yeah, just pure filth at him.
It's
and here's his response. See what I'm trying to tell you? That's just it. Like, he just takes that in stride. But man, every once in a while he'll go on a rant, which is part of what I was trying to clip there. But just what a fascinating character. And the fact that these are still around, good. Thank you for preserving that. But also, boy, what an odd artifact. What an odd artifact of I keep wanting to say it was 4chan, but it might be something awful. One of those two.
I knew of it from Fiad.
Okay.
Most certainly. Yeah, this was late aughts. This went up because I think it went up 14 years ago, 13, 14 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I still would have been reading the forums.
And by that point, it was still old because this is 2004, so a couple of years after it was aired.
Yeah, someone was trading the tapes. I mean, this would be the kind of thing you would trade.
Oh yeah.
This would be like Winnebago Man, or there's that infamous
Big Bill Hells, or what are those?
Big Bill Hells, yes. Yeah. Challenge pissing. What's that?
Fuck you, Baltimore.
Fuck you, Baltimore.
But yeah, you're right. Tape traders do kind of look for the weird stuff.
Yeah, there's the one of the two old decrepit guys that lived together and all they did was fight, and it became a radio show thing. And there's a million stories like this, particularly coming out of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Cable access in general had a lot of influence on stuff that people are still doing now. So Longmont Potion Castle, when he was coming up, was calling into a lot of these cable access shows.
I mean, Tim and Eric, obviously.
Yep, those guys. Artifacts of a Stranger Time, to be sure. But yes, his point in this episode, by the way, is that only black people will go to heaven.
White people trying to take over the world, but they ain't nothing saying about it, but that's what they're trying to do. Take all your money and when they get you broke, you ain't got no job, they ain't gonna feed you no more. All the white people got all the best jobs in the world and send you to the army to get killed. Well, you don't have no job when you come back. We're a bunch of fools in this country, that's all we are.
Okay. I guess.
I really do just miss giving the local crackpot 90 minutes on a Saturday night on local access.
Well, St. Louis, we still have ours. We still have Them Yo People with Have you never seen Them Yo People?
I've seen him. I've seen him around. I thought he was on actual broadcasts.
Well, that may be where it started. I know that there was a few places that did have them, but yeah, Them Your People. Mr. Gary, I had it wrong. It's Mr. Gary.
What do you say? Welcome to the show. It's Mr. Gary, the King of Hospitality. We're the only reality show starring you and your people. When I show up, I show out because I know what it's all about.
What a wonderful man. KDNL. So yeah, it was the local ABC affiliate. So yeah, that was Channel 30.
Oh wow, how about
that?
He was Mr. Gary. Once saw him somewhere, and then I saw his car, and he was double parked. I was like, hell yeah,
go for it, dude.
He's like, I had to get here. He was like, I had to get here, and I had to get this shit. Who cares how I'm parking?
Did he say who cares how?
No, I mean, I just assumed that it was his mindset, who gives a shit. And it was funny to me, it was actually really funny to me because it's this is a really busy parking lot. And he double parked his PT Cruiser or wherever he had. And
and he has now a van that's wrapped. It's got his face on it.
Oh no shit! Yeah, this was 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh okay.
But I've seen him all around town. He's always got a big smile on his face. And,
oh yeah, happy guy. I love him.
Yeah. But I just love it, he's double parked.
It is now time for everyone's favorite part of the show. It's shock.jpg.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
This week, we have one that goes by two different names.
Okay.
It was originally called thewillpower.org, also known as suckdude.com.
Suckdude.com.
Also, that'sjustgay.com was also the one there. Created in 2007, hosted by heyya.org. It still lives on You're the Man Now Dog, the willpower.ytmnd.com. You can see it for yourself. It is a looping gif of a man performing fellatio on himself, while in the original version, the DVDA song Now You're a Man from the soundtrack to the movie Orgasmo plays at full fucking volume. He's on a brown...
It's so tiny. Oh, wow.
He's going for it.
You know, Adam Friedland said that sucking your own dick doesn't feel nearly as much of like you're getting your dick sucked as much as you are sucking a dick.
Yeah, I would imagine that that's the case. Yeah, that seems right.
It doesn't. Yeah.
What really gets me is the fact that he's got like shades and a snapback on.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to go play Frolf.
And then you may have heard it in the background there while Brian was describing the photo that the You're the Man Now Dog version has a remix of ZZ Top's Gimme All Your Lovin'. Oh boy. Willpower.
What a time to be alive.
And again, that's
this
I guess
is why
not
white
all
people aren't going to heaven.
See, Dr. Conley's right.
Dr. Conley was right. We're fucking white devils.
Why? I no idea. And the brown couch that he's on is one of those
sectionals. Look like
big sectionals, and it would be what you'd refer to as a hot couch because the minute you start laying on that thing is picking up all your body heat. Like I feel clammy just looking at it.
Oh yeah, that like you can't see the coffee table in front of that,
but it's there.
You know what's on there.
Oh yeah,
just like a bunch of napkins from different fast food places.
At least one empty pizza box with maybe like one crust.
Maybe one empty pizza box. I was gonna say like a bowl of cereal that's been eaten, but now what was left of the milk has evaporated, so now it's like the shit's just like glued to the bowl, whatever's left in there. The last couple pieces of Wheaties or Captain Crunch or whatever, like you got fucking bleach that shit in hot water.
I can smell it now. That's
it smells like Jack in the Box tacos. Regardless of Jack in the Box tacos,
I was gonna say
room.
whether it's been in there or not. It's got that smell.
Go for some Jack in the Box tacos, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. You ready to dehumanize yourself and face to bloodshed?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you something. Like all the Jack in the Boxes in St. Louis, I think are like run by like the same 2 or 3 like companies.
Yeah.
And like I think they have the same practices, which I'm going to say are probably just above code.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember going to California one time and flying in. And like we're all just fucking starving, so we go to a Jack in the Box in Orange County, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot this is what like a Jack in the Box taco tastes like when the oil is changed more than like every 6 months." It's like we were all just thinking, like, I forgot what it's like going to a Jack in the Box that has some sort of standards attached to it. Because all the Jack in the Boxes in St. Louis are definitely kind of like it's like the Jack in the Box you go to because like child support's got your whole paycheck.
Yeah, there's definitely some corners being cut, and especially the one up the street here, not great.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like it's. I know which one you're talking about, and it's definitely made me upset in life.
The very definition of what you would call a struggle meal.
Yeah, no, it's like it definitely like you go like I've been in the line. In the drive-through line at that Jack in the Box, it definitely felt like I had was taking stock of the actions in my life that led me to this moment. And it's not, and it's
led to me here,
and it's not. I was hungry.
No,
and I was like, "Fuck it, we'll go to Jack in the Box. We ball. We're going to the bad Jack in the Box on Kings Highway."
Right.
No, it was more like, well, you overslept one time. And you missed that math quiz in college.
It's all been downhill from here.
In that was like looking back 15 years in the past and being like, this is where I fucked up. This is where I am now because I fucked up. I'm at the world's worst Jack in the Box. About to get the saddest tacos.
They're fried, but they're still somehow limp. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's just
soggy.
Yeah, tacos have problems, is what we're saying.
The mini talks are kind of where it's at, though.
Yeah. There's less room for them
to fuck up.
Yeah,
I think there's less steps. I think they literally just you put them in the fryer and you take them out. I think with the taco, like the taco meat's like mostly soy.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about Jack in the Box so much.
I don't know. But it's...
I don't know. Maybe. Gosh.
Maybe you are hungry.
I just got done sucking my own dick.
I could go for
really
some
hitting the spots. Jack in the Box tacos.
I just had my own little jumbo jack in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got some buttermilk ranch to spit out on these tacos. Oh, dude. There's definitely been times in my life where I've gone to Jack in the Box, got Jack in the Box tacos, and they did not give me enough buttermilk ranch, and I was like fucking
livid.
Oh,
yeah.
Like punching the wall, angry. Like, how am I supposed to enjoy these tacos?
Mm-hmm.
I was like Morgan. I'm certainly more. How am I supposed to enjoy these tacos if I don't have enough buttermilk ranch sauce to enjoy them with?
So I guess it's time for the breath mint, Brian.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
You wanted to get the buttermilk ranch sauce.
What was the impression I did that like got Danny all fucked up? Was it Morgan Freeman?
It could have been. I think that was we were doing the Walter bit back and forth, but I think no, I think it might have been Morgan Freeman. he flipped out a little bit. What the hell?
This poor man.
Yeah, torturing him with this show.
A respectable man in his field. He comes in here and is basically like, I don't know what. So if you had like two buttholes, which one would you fart out of? And just real high class conversations.
That's how we do it. That's the show. If you had two buttholes,
which one would you fart out of? Would you plug one up?
No.
Would you play favorites with if you had two? Would you? I'm a lefty kind of guy.
No. Okay. So the question is it vertical or horizontal?
I don't know. I haven't really thought. I mean, let's just say vertical. Maybe top or a bottom.
I guess it'd just be whatever's easier. Whatever's not going to stain my shorts or something. I don't know.
I don't know either. This is a deep philosophical question.
Yeah.
Saint Aquinas once ruminated about these things and the true nature of God and worship. And what if God had
Kierkegaard? What is the nature of the butthole?
What is the nature of the butthole? Dogen. Translation: the Dharma of the true right eye. Instead of this, the Dharma of the true brown eye.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes. So anyway, it's time for the breath mint.
There we go.
Ah, boy. All right. So this week, Brian, I have been enjoying the gay pirate show. Our Flag Means Death. Are you familiar with this one?
We watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes. That type of humor, I think, needs to die with what we do in the shadows.
Okay.
I feel like it's just
not a Taika Waititi fan then.
It really feels like someone is just pouring sugar down my throat.
Okay.
And is also making me chew down on tinfoil, and I've got fillings.
Okay, fair.
It's abrasive.
It can be. I certainly understand that.
But I understand that people enjoy it. Just because I have no joy in my heart doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Right. No, because I just thought it was charming, and I do love the guy who's the main character's voice.
Yes. I mean, there's like good casting and all that.
Oh yeah.
But for me, I'm looking for other things in
life.
Sure.
So the gay pirate show, enjoying that. It's very silly. I quite like that the plot is just. He was a fancy guy who decided he wanted to be a pirate just for fun.
Yeah, that part's good.
That's good. So what about you, Brian? What you been up to?
Gay pirate show some more?
No.
I didn't mean shoot you down and be like, this thing you like is fucking shit.
Not if it's going to be like chewing on tinfoil.
Man, I just kind of felt like there's some of that tone.
Yeah.
That's like a little long in the tooth. I don't think it's as fresh as it used to be. I think he's a guy that's going to get himself blackballed from media pretty soon.
Okay.
I think unless he switches up gear. of his vibes, because like I said, like I think he's kind of got himself in a rut. But yes, there are some premises and there are some characterizations of that show that I think are good. But I think as a whole, I think we were just like fatigued.
Sure.
On that whole deal.
Understood.
And maybe now if we went back to it, we'd feel a little differently.
Yeah, because I think that was we were coming from Yellow Jackets, which is, very melodramatic and very kind of surreal, and like going from that to something a little bit more lighthearted and silly was kind of the go-to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come out
there. Oh, no, it's fine.
Be like, fucking, you just waited 20 minutes in the world's most tedious line. You get some overpriced entree from a food truck, and like you just turn around and just slap it out of your hands and be like,
hey, that sucks, by the way.
It sucks. You wouldn't like it.
I did you a favor, yeah.
I was trying to stop you beforehand, man, but
yeah,
I was over at this other food truck that's really good. What's it called? Oh man,
I don't know.
They just left. They just left. I don't know. No one spoke English. I just pointed at a picture, and then I got what was in the picture, and I thought that was pretty tight.
That does sound about right.
Yeah, it's been really fucking busy lately, but my girlfriend and I, we did take a little bit of time over the weekend, the lovely holiday weekend, to watch a movie I didn't really know anything about. Called Whiplash. Oh my, what a treat! Yes, not the one with not the one about the roller derby girls. No. That one's called Whip It. Whip It. This is the only time I'm ever going to tell this story, but I met a band that was in that movie called the Ets. I was a big fan of, and they played Cicero's in St. Louis in like 2012, 2011, and I was asking them about it, and they got mad at me because I was making fun of Jack White, because I will never not make fun. Even like back then, I was like, I don't know, shit's kind of lame, and like the White Stripes are kind of like, I think that shit was special, and the rest of the other stuff just sounds like it's for car commercials.
Were they besties with him or something?
Jack White did take them on tour with the Greenhorns.
Oh,
not the Greenhorns, Dead Weather.
Okay. All right.
But they got a little mad at me for it. But before that, they told me a story about how they had the premiere screening or whatever, like wrap up party in Nashville. Okay. Which is where they're from. Yeah. And Elliot Page shows up in a Mini Cooper, and a bunch of fucking degenerates that probably all hung out like Glenn Danzig's house and stuff, like freaking weekend people, baby's all right type folks. Okay. Apparently we're at this bar, and they're like, Elliot Page has a Mini, an Elliot's Mini. And apparently that embarrassed Elliot Page so much that he just got back in the car and drove off. Oh. And I'm like,
I mean, they're right. He is tiny, but
yeah. Well, this is like one of those stories where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like people from Nashville all that much. At least here in St. Louis, we would have been like, oh my God, real celebrity.
Right. At least pretend to be,
Oh my gosh. And, someone had to be like, is that the person from Arrested Development? Like, no, right. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whip It, Whiplash. I mean, it shows you how much I pay attention to like early aughts films.
Right. But Whiplash, what a film.
I think there are horror films where I was less anxious.
Yes, it is a very tense film. For those of you in the audience not familiar, the Whiplash is a movie about a would-be jazz drummer
who's like 18 or 19, and he is like kind of friendless and self-isolated.
Very driven young man.
Yeah, and all he wants to do is be a great jazz drummer. And so he goes to this music college, and he's like in like one jazz band, and then he gets upped into like the premier one, but the instructor, who is played by
J.K. Simmons
is just an absolute fucking demon of a human being. Yeah, there's like Nazis in films that are less evil than that man.
Well, J.K. Simmons in Oz played a Nazi. So it's right up there.
About that. It was very natural for him.
Yeah.
Not because he's a Nazi, but because he's played evil people.
He's got this intensity in this role.
Yeah,
boy,
it's really well done. I feel like the actor that they picked for the young man is, I'm not saying miscast, but like it's a little flat.
Well,
and I know that's probably on purpose.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think part of that because God, who plays his dad in that?
Paul Reiser, who does great. He's only in it for 10, 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, it was Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
Andrew. Yeah, he's the...
Yeah, someone who's played in bands and played with people that were a little up their own ass. Like, I kind of know the whole, like, no, start it again. No, start it again.
Oh, yeah. There's one sequence that always stands out to people. And it's... he's trying to...
Are you early or are you late?
Yes. Am I dragging or am I rushing? Yeah, that whole sequence where by the end of it, he's crying. Are you fucking crying?
Oh, you're one of those single tear guys?
Yeah, just raw, man. But the movie then pulls back a little bit. But then there's the sequence where he's trying to get to the performance, and he has a fucking car crash, and he drags himself out of the fucking wreckage to get there on time. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Definitely recommend on all accounts. Whiplash.
The climax is really interesting.
Yeah,
I know nothing about it. My girlfriend. She was like, "You gotta fucking watch this. You've never seen it."
She was right.
And she was right. And while we're watching, she's like, "I just don't get jazz. Like, I mean, I like the music they use for this movie, and like, there's other things, but like, just like the I guess the general concept is like a little lost on, which is fine because not everyone is going to be orally and intellectually built to appreciate music that is just sometimes the world's biggest like dick sucking self-suck.
Yeah. Some people can't stand Zappa for that same reason. There's a lot of improvisation. There's a lot of this type of stuff.
I kind of like Zappa.
What I'm saying is that some people aren't tuned into that wavelength.
But there is like a lot of jazz music that is just someone like with a mirror between their legs looking at their own asshole.
Sure. I don't think that the J.K. Simmons character in that movie is that, though. I think he's just this stubborn perfectionist who wants it a certain way, and he's going to do anything to get it. And I think somebody talked about Whiplash, and I can't remember who it was, so forgive me, but they compared it not to any other music movie, but to a sports film. Because it's about pushing past your boundaries and kind of reaching this goal. I think they compared it to Rocky. Not so much that, anybody wins at the end, but that, he goes the distance, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting comparison. Because, it's shot like a sports film.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Very intense close-ups, but they're meant to give you this impression that he's really pushing his body and brain and do it, this intensity. And it really comes through in the way that it's shot.
There's Money in the Bank, the WWE live premium event, or whatever they fucking call it. They don't call it pay-per-view.
No. I can't say that.
The first mainline premium live event WWE has hosted in London. And I don't know, like 20-something years, 10, 15. It's been forever. It was cool.
Yeah.
The women's Money in the Bank match was pretty fucking tight. The men's was fine. The Roman Reigns. Actually, I don't want to talk about Money in the Bank. Let's just kill it.
No, that's fine.
I'm just like, it was fun.
Yeah, it
was fun. Like, it wasn't like fucking mind blowing or anything. I'm kind of seeing what happens at SummerSlam. I think the only thing that really keeps me watching WWE is that now there's so many people in the mix that were on NXT when I first started watching NXT that it's like kind of entertaining because the men's Money in the Bank match was Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul or Jake Paul, whatever one of those motherfuckers that wrestles now, Damian Priest, Pete Dunne, who unfortunately wrestles as Butch.
Oh yeah.
Now, and I'm trying to think who else.
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Santos Escobar,
yes.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar, and I felt like they put on like a really fucking great match with some really great fucking spots, and they didn't have to do any fucking crazy, like super fucking crazy, super fucking risky shit.
Right.
Just to like get the pop.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my problem with some of what AEW does sometimes. I think AEW is probably the better promotion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flippy, spinny, someone could just probably like died right there on live TV shit, which I kind of don't always like that Will Ospreay Kenny Omega match, which is one of those things that makes me wonder where pro wrestling is going as far as like stuff that isn't WWE, because like they threw on this match that's like a fucking clinic of what a 5-star match should be.
Yeah.
And didn't really have to go to extreme. Just had to fucking have the momentum, tell a story, have these ups and downs, have one person over the other and vice versa. And then Will Ospreay puts Kenny Omega and this drive called Tiger Driver 91, which is when you just plant a dude like on the back of his neck.
Woo.
And it's a really risky move. There's really no way to do it that isn't a botch, as far as I understand. And the guy who invented the move died from internal decapitation.
Jesus.
From taking it so much. I believe this is the man who invented the move, or at least I understand invented the move. Mitsushiro Misawa, who was a Japanese wrestler. Born June 18th, 1962, died June 13th, 2009. Basically died from taking a suplex that like internally like decoupled his spine.
Ooh.
And like his neck.
Jesus.
And I think Rey Mysterio Jr. accidentally killed a guy the same way, who had taken so many bumps to hit like his neck and his vertebrae that when he did a 619 on him, like basically like just like,
oh
yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. So it's not a good move, because even if you take it technically right, that's still a terrible bump.
Right.
There's like, fucking superplexes where you suplex someone off the top rope into the ring.
Right.
Like there's no good way to take that bump. There's a lot of moves that you can take that look painful, that look flashy. And if you're working with someone you trust and you know what you're doing, you could really no-sell it. But that's kind of the fun of doing this thing that's flashy. It actually doesn't hurt at all, and then you act like someone just hit you with a hammer in the side of the head. So Will Ospreay does a Tiger Driver 91 on Omega, and it doesn't go really good. And like, I think how the best way you're supposed to take it is you tuck your chin in as you go down, and it's supposed to hit the top of your shoulders. The way Omega takes it is that like it crunches the side of his head into his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Because he lands like right on the side of his neck.
Right.
And you're like, wow, that's really fucked up. And you didn't like, it wasn't like this match was like lacking any high points that you needed to pull out this really really sketchy move to sell it. And of course now Kenny Omega is like in the press being like, it's just what we do, and like I was prepared to take it. And it's like, you could just say you guys made a bad choice when you're plotting out this match. Kind of taints it, because you're like, there's this part that's really risky. And like MJF, who's like the ultimate fucking heel in AEW, who's like always fucking on, doesn't break kayfabe really ever, will say in media scrums like, I don't do that shit because like the fans, like I have to live in this body, the fans don't give a shit.
Right.
And we're really just kind of feeding, I'm paraphrasing like greatly here, but we're feeding this really bad habit in pro wrestling right now that we have to do these big flashy spots that could fucking cripple someone.
Yeah.
And I'm
and
not
often
gonna do that.
Yeah. And then, so the main event, the Usos beat Roman Reigns. Is that
is true?
Yeah.
And apparently, when he was getting pinned by, I forget which Uso brother,
Jay, right?
I think it was Jay. Roman Reigns apparently said, "I love you," which just wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling indeed.
Wrestling. It was a good match. I think I'm a fucking mark because I really thought Romans was going to drop the titles to Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I still think it would have been a fucking tremendous move.
Yeah.
And giving Zayn and Kevin Owens like the undisputed tag team titles, taking that from the Usos was fine, but they're not really doing anything, and it sucks when people have the belts and they don't do shit with it.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird, like, we're treading water kind of thing. Like, what are we doing?
It's like in a holding position, because I don't think they really defended the titles or anything.
Well, I certainly didn't on this one.
No. I think now what will be interesting is seeing Roman Reigns as he loses authority and loses control.
Yeah.
As a heel.
Right.
I think that will be interesting. I think people are getting a little tired of it.
People starting to jump ship from the whole bloodlines scenario and all that. Like,
I think giving Sammy the belts would have been really fucking interesting.
I mean, unless they're planning something.
Oh, they're gonna give him like Logan Paul or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they want Logan Paul to win.
I know.
Oh yeah, LA Knight was also in the Money in the Bank match. That's who I was missing. And LA Knight's is the most fucking probably over guy in the company right now. Good for him. Like, he's in his late 30s. He's only got a couple more years left where he can really be in, big belt pictures like that. Apparently they wanted Logan Paul, or whichever fucking Paul brother it is, the fucking win Money in the Bank. It's like, cool. So you're gonna give that opportunity to another part timer. Roman was kind of a part timer for a little while, but Brock Lesnar, who just like.
Oh, I remember for a while there was going to be Seth Rollins too. So who the hell knows? I
find Seth Rollins to be really boring, like 75% of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a guy who apparently is like into hardcore music and like based all of his merch off of hardcore band shirts, and for being like kind of boring.
Yeah. Like, I know local wrestlers who are in hardcore bands who are more entertaining to watch. It's so strange.
There's a lot of guys that when they get to WWE, they just kind of fucking coast.
Yeah, because they made it.
They don't have to fucking prove it anymore. And I mean, I think that's kind of true with AEW, because I had to like convince friends that Kenny Omega actually used to put on really fucking cool matches all the goddamn time. He just did them in Japan to rooms with like 200 people in them.
Yeah, because he was young and hungry, and he had to. Yeah.
Well, there's a intergender match. I forget who he's up against, but it's him and Asuka.
Okay.
And they just do hip checks.
I would say, she's.
There's a whole entire match. They're like 90% of their offense is just slamming their asses into the other people's face. It's pretty impressive.
She's something to watch, man. I like watching her every time she's on. The other thing that I have for the breath mint this week, I'm reading a book called Drunk on All Your Strange New Words, a locked room murder mystery sci-fi book. So this woman works as a translator for this alien race, this ambassador for the alien race, and he is murdered in the embassy, and the only suspect is her, and so she has to kind of figure out what happened. It's a nice twist on the whodunit, because it's done with a little bit of a sci-fi flavor. I like it.
That's cool.
There was a Lindsay Ellis book a couple of years back that has that same kind of vibe, but it's interesting. It's something. It's something familiar. The Locked Room Mystery. We all know that one. It's a staple of the mystery genre, but it's done in a way that's kind of new and fresh, and I kind of like that. I like doing something but in a way you haven't seen it done, which is that one. And then the only other thing that I have is Farlight 84. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of that? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It is a team shooter that has a battle royale and a deathmatch mode and a couple other modes. And it's a character-based, so it's a kind of a mashup of your Fortnites and your Overwatches. There's drivable mechs in it. It's free to play. It's kind of a hoot. Just been kind of dicking around in that for a while, catching a few dubs. I did a battle royale and did pretty well, which I usually don't. That tells me that either I was playing against bots or that the people who were playing it are on my skill level, which is great because, God, every time I try to join something like a Call of Duty or something, I just get smacked in the ass for 20 minutes straight and go, wow, this is supposed to be fun, huh? But but for this one, and it's got the usual free-to-play crap with the battle passes and all that. You can easily ignore it. You gain pretty decent XP just by running around the world. And the deathmatch only has 2 maps right now, so it's feels real early access, feels real kind of cheap, but it looks neat, and there's some cool traversal stuff where you can kind of use jetpacks to get around the little levels, and it's kind of fun. Just kind of a neat little time waster while I'm still plugging away at that Yakuza 7. Just taking my time with it, savoring it, doing all the little sub-quests, but every once in a while I'm just like, you know what, I just want to kill some time with some mindless shooter, and that kind of fits the bill. So yeah, Farlight 84, free to play, most platforms. Don't even know which ones it's on, but I'm on the PC for that one just because that's what I got. So
yeah. I don't really have any games I'm really looking forward to for like the rest of the year, except for
Starfield. No.
Cool. I got. So you're saying I can't be disappointed by another Elder Scrolls game?
I didn't say you couldn't.
Another 6 years because they had to make a sci-fi game that probably will be broken.
Well, yeah, it's Bethesda.
Yeah,
it's gonna be broken.
But it'll be somehow more broken than Fallout 76. But at least it'll look pretty. You know what?
Fair. That's fair.
Even with Game Pass, I'm not sure if I'll play that. I've just been burned. I mean,
yeah.
I think Armored Core 6
Yeah.
and maybe the Super Mario RPG remake.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
I do not want to buy a Switch just to play that game.
That's true. That is that one, because that Super Mario Wonder.
Oh no, with the furry vor elephant Mario.
Despite that, I still think it looks fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those as well. We're going to tell you where to find us online. Brian, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Okay. If you want to flush a toilet at me, call me a homo white devil. Tweet dog turd at me. You can do that at ishotgidibor, ishotguydbord. It's Twitter and Instagram. If you want to check out my photography portfolio, it's assholemusicphotographer.com. If you want to check out my photos and words, it's amusicphotographer.com.
Hey.
And I just had my first piece over at theartsstl.com go up, my little review of Black Midi. That was a fun one to write.
Oh yeah,
and,
it was a fun one to read.
Thank you. And also up on A Music Photographer, my write-up for Young the Giant is up. I had a lot of fun writing that one. And I really like some of the photos I got from that show. And what I got in the hopper Monday, I'm waiting to get the final okay from their PR, but it looks like I'm going to be photographing Melanie Martinez.
Okay.
Which is like if Grimes were not into eco-fascism.
Okay.
It's I don't know. I think it's really like the editor for the RSSTL is a guy I've known enough for a number of years named Jason, and he tagged me on Facebook on the little preview I did for the show, and he's like, "Yeah, so I had no idea who this person is, but apparently they sold out the venue, and they have 14 million followers on YouTube." Are double platinum artists, and I'm like, yeah, isn't life weird? Like,
yeah, that is very strange.
I honestly, when I remembered that her first record had gone double platinum, I the first thought was like, this happens to people that aren't like like Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like that can still
that
happen.
Is odd. Yeah,
like I didn't know that was possible, except for like the people that had 20+ year established careers are just put in your face by the by the music machine with like you can't fucking go anywhere without seeing them or hearing them, like the fucking Gautier ass shit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that show. The new record is pretty interesting and has like a lot of kind of like lo-fi vibes, but also like very lush instrumentation. And I was like listening to the record yesterday at work, and I was just playing on my phone at my desk while I was doing stuff, and I'm really, really thankful that someone came up and talked to me, and I paused the music on my phone. And I'm sure the people I work with wonder what the fuck's going on with me, because like they walk by my desk and I'm playing Billy Woods, and then they walk by my desk later and I'm playing like The Babies, and then I'm playing this shit. I'm sure there's like, is he just like a schizophrenic? Or I'm like, well, sometimes like someone did ask me, I was like, well, sometimes I just gotta listen to stuff that I'm like going to be photographing and refamiliarize myself.
Sure.
With
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, like not necessarily. I could get away with Young the Giant because that just sounds like pleasant music, but like Melanie Martinez, like one person was just like, what? So what's up, man? Like,
you doing all right? Yeah.
But I'm really glad I paused that song where I did, because the next track was her very explicitly talking about getting her cat ate while on the rag. And I like, and because I was like, I got in my car and that song started playing. It's called, I think, Moon Cycle. And I'm like, this is my first time listening to the record all the way through. Like I listened to the singles a few times and I was like, oh, this shit's cool, whatever. I'm in my car and that song starts playing as I start to drive home, and I'm like, I am so glad this didn't play. I'm so glad I wasn't. And and then I found out that song was written partially in response to her ex, who like wrote a song that implied that like women were gross and like irrational when on their period.
Ugh.
So writing that song implies that her ex-boyfriend apparently is a fiend for the uterine lining.
Okay.
And I was just like, you know what? I like this messy drama.
Yeah.
I like this. And the song's not that bad. It's just like, this is a little bit explicit in the way I wasn't expecting anything on this record to be. And like, you know what? Fucking power to you for making it like actually kind of a bop. But there was definitely times where I was like, oh wow, okay, this is where lyrically this is where we're going. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster and I'm just in my Corolla.
That's wild.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Jason.
No, that's fine.
Where can we go to call you Dog Turd?
You can call me Dog Turd on any of these social medias that exist right now. Chances are I'm on it. Most of the places you'll find me under Video Crime. That's VIDEO.
Are you on Thread?
I am on Thread. VIDEOCRIME. That's at Twitter, Blue Sky, and Mastodon. You can find me as Laser Goose CEO on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, as Brian so astutely said. And Threads, by the way, dog shit. Not
looks
good.
Like piss.
Not great. Yeah.
And also, it looks like the EULA that you gotta accept is
it's
piss.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's the same one for Instagram, so it's not great. You can find the show 48minutesdogsbarking.com. From there, you'll see our various socials. But yeah, we're on Twitter as 48 Minutes of Dogs. We do have the phone number you can give us a call. You can call us up and tell us how we're not getting into heaven. That's 314-246-9766. 314 AHOY POO. If you'd like to spell with your telephone, shoot us an email, Jason at 48minutesdogsbarking.com.
I thought I wasn't going to heaven because I wasn't baptized.
There's that too. Or Brian at 48minutesdogsbarking.com. That's Brian with a Y, by the way. Yeah, that about does it for the show. Now, we were really saddened this week, of course. Rick Froberg of Drive Like Jehu and from Hot Snakes passed way too fucking young, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to close it out with a little something by Drive Like Jehu. One of my favorites of theirs, Golden Brown.
Ooh.
Well, as we always say at this time, namaste and good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.